Many technical companies lose leads before a buyer ever fills in a form or books a call. Not because the service is weak, but because the website makes the value too hard to understand. Hi, I'm Carol. At Nebula, we help technical and industrial businesses make complex value easier to explain, prove, and sell. In this video, we'll look at the most common reasons good companies lose inquiries online. It is easy to assume the answer is more traffic, more posts, more ads, more campaigns. But if the message is unclear, more visitors may simply mean more people leaving without taking action. This is the part many companies miss. Buyers do not usually contact you to explain what confused them. They just move on to a company that feels easier to understand and safer to contact. This matters because many B2B buyers now want to research before speaking to sales. At the same time, buyers are frustrated by content that feels too generic or hard to access. So your website has to do more of the early trust-building work. A buyer's first visit is often very simple. They land on the page, check whether the company fits their problem, then decide whether to act, delay, or leave. So the question is not just, does the website look good? The better question is, does it help the buyer understand, trust, and act? We can break that into 3 areas: clear message, visible proof, and a clear next step. First, let's look at message clarity. A buyer should be able to understand what you do, who you help, and why your work matters without needing a long explanation. Most people do not read every word on a website. They scan. That means your headline, subheading, section titles, and first few lines have to carry the main value very quickly. A homepage can look polished and still fail. If it uses broad claims without clear meaning, the buyer may not see why your company is right for their problem. A service list explains what you offer, but not always why it matters. Stronger pages connect services to real buyer problems, commercial pressure, and business outcomes. A good website reduces effort. It helps the buyer see the problem you solve, the type of work you handle, and the next sensible action. It should not force them to piece everything together alone. Now let's look at proof. There is a big difference between saying you can help and showing that you have helped before. A claim asks the buyer to believe you. Proof gives them something to judge. This is especially important when the buyer has to explain your company to other people inside their business. Technical buyers need evidence before they feel safe enough to contact you. Good proof can include case studies, project examples, testimonials, sector pages, accreditations, or clear outcomes. A useful test is this. If a buyer asks, have they handled a similar problem before? Can your website answer that question without needing a sales call? The third issue is the next step. A buyer may understand your value and still leave if the page does not make the next action clear. A stronger website does not rely on one generic contact button. It gives buyers a sensible path. They can read proof, take a scorecard, download a useful asset, or book a review when they are ready. Some buyers are interested but not ready to speak yet. They may need to compare options, share the page, check budget, or explain the choice internally. A useful next step keeps them engaged without forcing a sales call too early. A stronger marketing base is not built from random activity. It needs a clear message, visible proof, useful content, and sales assets that all support the same buying decision. Nebula helps technical and industrial companies turn complex work into clearer marketing. That can include website messaging, service pages, case studies, sector pages, sales decks, one-pages, and lead assets. So the key takeaways are simple. A website does not just need to look good, it needs to help the buyer understand, trust, and act. Do buyers understand what you do and why it matters? Can they see evidence before they contact you? And the last thing, do they know what to do when they are ready? If your website feels too broad, too hard to explain, or disconnected from your sales process, start with the Nebula Marketing Scorecard or book a clarity review at nebulas.uk.